Let's be honest here, Gen Z and millennials are frustrated because we're told to save for a home, but rent keeps rising and student loans are still a thing, and by the time that we actually have some money saved, prices have jumped again. So we're all wondering, will we ever be able to afford a house? What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is JulietteRobelo and I'm a realtor and investor here in Orange County, California. And I'm super excited for today's video because we're going to be talking about Gen Z. And if you didn't know, Gen Z is actually my generation. The average home price is nearly 7 times the average Gen Z income. So compare that to your parents or your grandparents' generation when homes cost just 2 to 3 times the average income and saving for a down payment was realistic. Fast forward that to 2025 and it feels like the rules of the game have completely changed. As a California realtor, I hear this all the time. I've literally had somebody come and tell me, Juliette, this feels like an unattainable goal for me. If I was gonna buy a house, I would probably have to go out of state or find a house that's very far inland and then also find a job over there. Why would I do that? And the truth is, buying a home today is harder than it's ever been for Gen Z and millennials. Some people even say that we're headed towards an ownership-free society where renting is going to become the norm. And let me tell you guys something. If that does happen, you don't want to be part of the percentage of people that doesn't own anything. You don't want to be the person that rents the unit. You want to be the person that owns the unit.
You got 90% of the American public out there with little or no net worth. I create nothing. I own.
So I'm here to tell you that yes, things have changed and the path definitely looks different, but homeownership is still possible and it's still important for long-term financial wealth. With that being said, let's dive into what's actually holding Gen Z and millennials back and how to make that possible for you in 2025. Okay, so what is actually holding Gen Z back? And let me tell you guys something, there's no sugarcoating it because Gen Z is up against some serious obstacles. Number 1, wages haven't kept up with inflation. Since 2000, housing prices have risen over 150%, while wages have only grown by 50%. Entry-level salaries don't match today's housing prices. Number 2, student loan debt impacts mortgages. The average student debt is $28,000, and a lot of Gen Z buyers struggle with debt to income ratios, making it harder for them to qualify for a mortgage. Number 3, high rent makes saving impossible. In many cities, rent eats up 40 to 50% of income, leaving little room to save for a down payment. Number 4, the interest rates. Today's rates can add hundreds or even thousands of dollars to your monthly mortgage payments compared to just a few years ago. And number 5, which a lot of people might not be aware of, but investors drive up prices. Institutional investors now purchase 1 in 5 homes in the US, driving up prices by 10 to 15% in some areas, and that pushes first-time home buyers out of the market. So yes, these barriers are very real, but understanding them is the first step to building smarter strategies and breaking through. Okay, so now let's talk about why homeownership still matters even in a world where some experts predict a future without it. So you might be asking, why even try to buy a home anymore? And it's a valid question when you think about all of the financial and lifestyle changes that you would have to sacrifice in order to save up for one. I've seen a lot of the younger generation just X this off of their list of goals for that reason. It feels like it's impossible and it feels unrealistic. And I've also heard so many discussions about a future without ownership. Some experts are predicting that we're gonna live in an ownership-free society where everything is rented or accessed through subscriptions instead of owned. And it sounds convenient, right? You pay for what you need, when you need it, no responsibility, no maintenance, just the freedom to let go of anything when it's no longer useful. But here's the catch. While this shift might offer short-term flexibility, it's risky in the long run. Without owning assets like real estate, there's no way to build wealth or pass on financial security to future generations. Because when you don't own anything, you're left without a safety net. And money aside, don't limit yourself. You guys deserve a place to call your home where nobody can just easily evict you. Without owning real estate, you'll never accumulate equity and wealth is going to become even harder to attain. Renting or subscribing to everything might feel more affordable right now, but it locks you out of one of the most powerful tools for long-term financial growth, which is ownership, and I've talked about this in my other videos. Real estate is historically considered one of the most solid investments that you can make. First of all, it offers stability. Rent prices have surged by over 20% since 2020, while wages haven't kept pace. A fixed mortgage, on the other hand, means predictable payments, saving you guys from rent hikes. Over 30 years, homeowners can save nearly $200,000 compared to renters. Secondly, homeownership is one of the most powerful wealth building tools. Homeowners have a net worth 40 times higher than renters thanks to equity growth. Even owning a small property helps you build long-term financial security. And lastly, leverage. As home values rise, owning real estate allows you to leverage equity for future investments. Real estate historically appreciates at 3 to 5% per year, which gives you a way to build wealth over time. Okay, so let's talk about solutions here. So what are Gen Z buyers doing that actually works? Because here's the thing, Gen Z is still buying homes in 2025. Yes, it's harder, but it's not impossible. Actually, 15% of home buyers in 2025 are Gen Z, and that number is growing as they figure out how to beat these odds. And this is a game changer. Splitting the cost with friends or with siblings can make homeownership much more attainable.
You're both under 30 and you have a house.
Yeah.
That is a pretty big thing to do these days.
Correct. But it felt really good doing it with a partner.
It helps Gen Z get into the market faster, share equity, and avoid being locked out by high prices. Number 2, buy a starter home within reach. You don't have to go straight for $1 million coastal home. Some Gen Z buyers are starting with condos, townhomes, or entry-level homes. I live in Southern California, so I would recommend my client to consider more affordable counties like Riverside or San Bernardino, where the home prices are much more price accessible, but still close to big metropolitan areas. This strategy allows many Gen Z buyers to start building equity instead of waiting indefinitely for the perfect home. And number 3, start small on purpose. So starting small is key, and many Gen Z buyers are opting for studios, condos, or fixer-uppers to get into the door sooner. And these properties may not be their forever home, but it allows them to start building equity, and that's a solid first step towards wealth. Okay, number 4, let's talk about some down payment assistance programs. So down payment assistance is still a viable option for first-time homebuyers across the country in 2025. Many states offer similar programs to California's Cal HFA program. National programs like FHA loans, VA loans for veterans, and USDA loans for rural areas can help lower the financial barrier to homeownership. And these programs are available in many states and can make a big difference, especially for those struggling to save for a large down payment. And number 5, house hacking. This is one of the most strategic moves I've seen. This is where you buy a property with an extra room or an ADU, accessory dwelling unit, and rent it out. So this lets you have someone help pay your mortgage, which is a great way to build wealth without waiting for the perfect solution. It's all about being strategic, staying persistent, and taking the first step, even if it's small. Okay, so let's talk about what you can do now, because buying a home might feel far off, but the footwork is what starts now. So here's how you can prepare today. 1, check your credit. Your credit score matters. A score of 620 and above qualifies for most loans, but 740 gets the best rates, saving you thousands. You can use an app like Credit Karma, that's what I use, to monitor your score and focus on paying down high balances or fixing any errors to boost it. Number 2, track your spending and debt to income ratio. So lenders will look at your debt to income ratio, also known as your DTI, and ideally they're looking for something under 43%. So start trimming expenses and paying off small debts to lower it now and increase your buying power. Number 3, start saving for a down payment. Even if it's a small savings, it adds up. For example, putting aside $50 a week means $2,600 in a year. Create a second account and call it your dream home fund so that you can stay focused on your goal. Number 4, consult with a realtor and a lender. You don't need to be ready to buy when you talk to a lender. A lender can just help you review your finances for free, and talking to a realtor can just help you get an understanding of the market, and together they can help you map out a timeline and a plan. And number 5, talk to a realtor and have them start tracking home prices and trends in your area and sending them to you. Knowing the market now will make you smarter and faster when the time comes for you to buy. Okay guys, so here's the truth. Homeownership isn't out of reach, It just takes a different strategy today. So don't let the headlines convince you that it's impossible, because Gen Z is already proving that it can be done. Rome wasn't built overnight. So just take small and consistent steps, and don't write off the dream of owning a home, because you deserve a future where you're building equity, stability, and wealth, and not just paying off somebody else's mortgage. So believe in your ability to make it happen, because I believe in you. You can do it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week. And like always, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to put them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, share, like, share, and subscribe. Yes, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.